What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris the Atari Creep, and today is March 26th. Happy Atari Day, everybody. I got my swag on. I had my gaming on earlier, and now I'm making this video. It's just fitting that I'm starting here. This is a video I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's going to be a very small series, 4 videos in total. Basically, talking to you about the games I had for specific systems throughout time that I had while they were still somewhat new and relevant. Meaning you could just go to the store and still buy those consoles and or these particular games. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to call the series. Maybe the original collection input console here. But today we're going to start off with the Atari 2600. So let's talk about the console that I had to begin with. My very first console was a Sears branded Atari 2600, the Sears Tele-Games Video Arcade. We had the heavy 6er model. I don't remember when we got it. I don't remember how we got it, whether it be a birthday present or Christmas. I don't have any recollection as far as opening it or anybody opening it up. There was no big reveal memory in my head. Just as far back as I go, it was just there. So for all I know, it could have always been there. And just one day I discovered it. So I was able to find a picture. It's kind of like a nice Loch Ness Monsters type picture, real blurry. You can barely see what's up. But, you know, I've put that up so you can have a look at it. So that was the console we started off with. First game on our list, Target Fun, Tele-Games 27. This is the Sears branded version of Air Sea Battle. There are 27 games on here. You have a shooting gallery. You have planes, submarines, and ships. And basically all that is, if you've never played it, is you have the opportunity to shoot from turrets on the ground up to things in the sky. Or you could drop bombs from the sky down to things on the ground. Or you could drop things from the sky into water and water up into the sky. There's a whole bunch of different variations of this game within one cartridge. And that's what made Atari really fun to me. Is you didn't just get a game and you played it. There were different versions of it. The next game, obviously, is probably one of the best ones out there. But there was just so many different variety of games within one cartridge that you had so much fun with it, even if it was all you had. There was enough there to keep you from getting bored. So the first game that we had was Target Fun, Sears Tele-Games branded Air Sea Battle. The second game on our list is Combat. Who doesn't know Combat? Do I really need to say anything about Combat? Great game. My favorite versions are Invisible Combat, but you have Pong Combat. You have, let's see, what else does it say? You have Biplane, Jet Fighters. We have 3 triangles going all over the place. This is such a fun cartridge. And if you collect for the Atari 2600, there's chances are that you have enough of these to build a whole coffee table out of. It was packed in with pretty much every 2600 out there, which brings me up to a very interesting point. For a number of years, I associate this with the packing game for my Sears Tele-Games Video Arcade. Maybe that's because they were branded the same. Again, I don't remember getting my Video Arcade, so I don't know which game was packed in with it. So it actually could have been either one of these two. I have seen that Combat came with a lot of Sears Tele-Games, so I may have been very mistaken in that. But I will always associate the Target Fun with my Sears Tele-Games as a packing game, even if that's not the case. Next game, let's move on. Next game, Space Invaders. Oh my God. What can I say about Space Invaders that hasn't already been said? Well, first and foremost, I didn't have a lot of experience with the actual arcade port of this. But this game's very important for a number of reasons. One, because it just was such a great port of it. And to this day, this is my favorite port of Space Invaders anywhere, including the arcade itself. This very cartridge is what actually made the Atari 2600, then called the VCS, a household name. Atari wasn't selling them as well as they thought they could. Once they ported Space Invaders over to the 2600, you couldn't keep them on the shelves. They were being sold out everywhere. What a phenomenal game. And the fact that this has over 100 varieties of Space Invaders is phenomenal. Again, the invisible version, I love that. If you've never tried that before, go out and get yourself a copy of this. I promise you, I will not steer you wrong. This is my favorite copy of Space Invaders of all time. Next game on our list, Pac-Power! Pac-Man for the Atari 2600. I don't know what more I can really say about this. I already made a whole video. Flawed? Yeah. Gameplay is 100% there. The sounds are still very nostalgic to me. May not look like the arcade, but it certainly plays well. And if this were just another average Pac-Man clone, it would suffice now, wouldn't it? We had a blast playing this. And much like Space Invaders, this was my, not sole example of playing Pac-Man. I just didn't get to an arcade too often as a kid. And when I did, I usually played Centipede or something. So, but I was okay with this port, and we played this a lot. My sister, in particular, played Pac-Man quite a bit. So, yeah, that's the next game on the list, Pac-Man. Next, this game is what I use to differentiate between noobs and solid Atari collectors. E.T. Okay? If I go anywhere and I start talking about retro games, even if they're somewhat collectors or even if they're not collectors, the second they start talking about worst game of all time, I know that they're either A, a noob, or B, a fucking lemming. Okay? Now, you may not like the game, and that's fine. You may think this game sucks, and that's great. Worst game of all time? I'm not debating that. All right, we already got into all that. But I received this Christmas morning of the year it came out, and you all know my story on that. There's another video solely on this game for me. But I do have a lot of good memories as well as frustrating memories about this game, and that's key right there. It's not bad memories, they're just frustrating until I figured out how to play it. And then to me, it just became a blah game. It's a good game and it plays, and it's easy enough to complete its objectives. But to me, it's just kind of blah. It doesn't hold my attention. But it's very nostalgic to me. Plus, I love the E.T. franchise. E.T. is one of my favorite movies of all time. So that's the next one, E.T. Next to last, we have we have an M Network title, Astro Blast. This is a game that I played a lot. It hasn't aged very well. And I have played the Intellivision version, which is what this cartridge was actually originally intended for. Which is why a lot of these ones didn't translate to the 2600 as well. With, of course, some exceptions like Frogs and Flies and Lock and Chase. But this game had a really neat dynamic. Yes, it was pretty much a copy of something that had come before 100 times. You know, you're just a turret on the bottom, shooting things either coming down at you or whatever. You have asteroids falling. But the neat thing about this is not only did the asteroids split up, there were different point systems for if you were able to blow up the big asteroids with 1 hit, 2 hits, and if you let any of them go past you, you actually lost points. A real fun story about this cartridge. When I received it for Christmas morning one year, shortly before Christmas, there was this huge box that just showed up one day. And I can only imagine it must have been like from Amway or some stupid shit like that. And I was going through it, and I found this game in there. My parents were like, no, that's for your cousin Ryan. And sure as shit on Christmas morning, I ended up opening it up. I did play this a lot. This was one of those games where it really sucked you in to try to do better the next one. You know, you really just had that drive to do it. Today, it's kind of meh, and if you're just getting into it, it's probably not the greatest example of a game on the console. But because I had it when it was still relevant and I played it a lot as a kid, it holds a lot in my heart. So, yeah, next to last, Astro Blast. Last game, unfortunately, I don't have the physical cartridge. Hence why, unfortunately, I took so long to actually make this video. I wanted to have them all physically in my hand. But what I'll do is I'll put my hand right here, and I'll put a little picture of the cartridge right there. Journey Escape. I don't really know much what else to say about Journey Escape, except for it's pretty interesting. You're basically the members of Journey. You're running up a path, I guess you would call it, to some really cool music. You're trying to avoid groupies and other baddies, and you're trying to collect money and get to your ship. And all your members of the band, I can't remember if there's 6 or 5, yeah. I'm assuming 6. You got to get to the ship while keeping all your money, and every time you bump into something, you lose money. And then once you get them all, you win the game, and it starts over and gets a little tough. Music's great. Another game I played a lot. There's a few little cheats and tricks that you can do while playing it. Yeah, it was just such a fun game. Another one near the end of it all, even when I still had an NES, I played a lot. As a matter of fact, when I had my NES, I still played Astro Blast, and Journey Escape a lot. I would switch the consoles back and forth. And, yeah, that's that. But Journey Escape is a really good game to me. The music is awesome. It showed what the Atari 2600 could do, though very limited. And it was just a fun game all around. Plus, it just looked different than the rest of the carts that I had. All right, guys. So that's the humble collection the Creep had in his home to play when he was a kid. I was exposed to Atari outside the house, of course, and that's where I got my love for other games like Yara's Revenge and The Empire Strikes Back. And my all-time favorite, Kaboom, was over at other friends' houses who had vastly more cartridges than I and my family could have afforded. Though I was very happy with what I had, and each one of these games I can go back to at any time and enjoy them. And I guess that's makes me a little luckier than others, whereas I have cartridges in my small collection that none of them I could say that I was bummed out about, with the exception of E.T., but that was a time period thing, and we all know that. So, guys, thank you, as always, so much for watching. If this was something that you enjoyed, please let me know. I'll carry on with the next 3 systems. Next would be NES. And I will do the same thing for that. So go ahead and leave feedback down below. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback is positive. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all doing well. Happy Atari Day. And the Atari Creep saying, take care and bye-bye. Hey, what's up, folks? The Creep here. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more. You can follow The Creep on social media, and feel free to reach out at any time here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Creep would love to hear from you. And as always, thank you, take care, and bye-bye.